And really, the way you cut vegetables is just going to determine what you're doing with them. You want them all uniform so they cook evenly. I think you mentioned that before, Kathleen.
Right.
But that's really important. You don't want the zucchini cooking away to nothing because the carrots haven't cooked yet.
Right, exactly.
So we'll also be doing some carrots and some celery for our soup. And in the meantime, I have this other eggplant here, which is this light purple, long, thin Japanese eggplant. This would work well also. And I think we would cut this more like we would cut the zucchini.
Right.
Okay, so let's throw this in the soup pot. And then the next thing we'll go on to would be the carrot. And again, that's one of those things that we want to make a flat surface on.
Sure.
Because they're hard and they do fight us. They don't really want us to cut them. Okay. So I'll do the carrot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carrot. You can cut it in half if it's easier to manage. And just take a little thin slice off the carrot. Because you don't necessarily have to cut the carrot in half. But now it's flat.
Yes.
And I can more easily cut it. So again, with our train locomotion, rocking motion. Okay, we'll do a couple of carrots. Into the pot we go. Holding the knife close to the blade. Okay. Keeping your fingers bent. And let's just make sure we get all these carrots in there. This one I will cut in half because it's a little fatter.
Okay.
Okay. And that does make it so much easier. Stir fry would also be a great dish to practice your knife skills
absolutely.
with, don't you think?
Anything that has a lot of veggies.
A lot of cutting, right?
A lot of cutting.
They're inexpensive. And they're really good for you.
Absolutely.
And again, we're cooking in color, so what could be worse?
Yes.
What
Plus
could
you
be
can
bad?
You can utilize the farmer's market and get all the
I love my
fresh,
farmer's market. In fact, I always miss it so much when we, don't have our farmer's markets open here in the East.
Sure.
It's not a 12-month-a-year thing. And even if they stay open till Christmas, that's usually Christmas trees.
Yes.
So, all right, let's give this a little stir. And one last thing is celery. Now this celery is a nice size. Just cut it in half and turn it over. It's already got a flat side for us. Push forward, lift up, pull back. Push forward, lift up, pull back. Okay. And the knife also makes a nice bench scraper.
Right.
Because I can scrape my food right onto the knife. I think if you have really good knives and you learn good knife skills, it almost eliminates the need for a lot of other kitchen gadgets.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you think?
Save counter space.
Save drawer space,
yes.
counter space.
Sure.
And if you're in an apartment kitchen or, just a small kitchen and you really can't afford all that drawer space,
sure.
Just learn to use your knives and you can use a lot less implements. So at this point, since we've cut up all of our veggies, let's add some bay leaves to our minestrone.
Okay.
And the bay leaves are something that we remove at the end because bay leaves are very sharp. In fact, let me show you. They're so brittle that we don't want anyone to swallow this. Okay? So we remove the bay leaves. Remember how many you put in there?
Okay.
We just put 2 whole and 2 halves. So we want to remove 4 pieces. Okay? Red beans, red kidney beans, chickpeas. I think any kind of beans work, but a classic minestrone would have the red beans. And then we're going to add our tomatoes, some salt and pepper. Would you mind doing the honors of the pepper?
Absolutely.
Just grab that pepper mill. And a few rinds over that.
Tell me when.
Okay. Thank you. Good. Looks really good. Add the tomatoes. Now I have to crush these up a little bit and try and crush them up in the liquid as much as possible so it doesn't go all over your stove. or low into the pot. You can also just use crushed tomatoes. Sometimes I like to make this when I get tomatoes for cooking at the farmer's market, and I just use, several tomatoes.
That looks so colorful.
It is colorful, isn't it? I think that, even these vegetables sauteed like this would be great tossed with pasta.
Sure.
Without all the sauce. Okay. And into the pot they go. Let me just wipe my hand off. Okay, we're going to let this cook about 10 minutes. And once those flavors have all had a chance to blend, we're going to add a small pasta like an orzo or a ditalini, something like that.
Great.
Okay. I think that the next thing that I'd really like to talk to folks about is cutting soft food. So let me just switch gears here and we'll go on to that.
Sounds good.
Kathleen, our soup's been cooking for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and add our orzo, just any small pasta, but I used orzo today. So while that's finishing to cook, why don't we talk a little bit about cutting soft foods?
Sure.
I have some mozzarella cheese here. What recommendation do you have for that?
I would recommend a cheese knife, and this is a cheese knife. The holes are what make this unique.
And make it a cheese knife.
Make it a cheese knife. It's because the holes, there's less surface area now on the knife, so the cheese should be able to fall.
So it doesn't stick.
Right, it doesn't stick to the
knife.
knife.
Let's give that a try. You're right. So it just glides right through the cheese.
Right.
And normally when I cut mozzarella cheese, if it's nice and fresh and nice and soft, it would squash.
Right.
That's great. So we have that. Now I have a tomato here. Tomatoes can be very soft.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take the core out of the tomato with the point of the utility knife or trimmer knife or any large paring knife or any large serrated or recessed edge knife will work on soft foods.
And you always want to use the size knife for the food you're cutting. Be
Bigger
conscious
than
of
the
that.
food. Yep.
Right.
Great. So if I had a large tomato, I could use a large serrated or recessed edge bread knife. Okay. Now let's just put this together very quickly. As soon as we have a white plate, let's start with the tomato. And then some mozzarella and tomato and mozzarella. And we'll just repeat ourselves here a few times, like so. Really a simple salad, a great salad to make. A little bit of freshly ground pepper on that. A little bit of balsamic vinegar across the top. And also some fresh basil. Could you hand me that fresh basil? And by the time we are done with our salad, we're going to take another peek at our soup.
Okay.
See how that looks. This is a great summertime salad. If you want to make this in the winter, just buy the tomatoes a couple of days ahead and let them get nice and ripe. Okay. You could also add a little extra virgin olive oil to that, but I think when the tomatoes are really sweet and the mozzarella is really fresh, all you need is that little drizzle of balsamic vinegar. Let's take a look at the soup. I'm going to start to remove those bay leaves, and then we'll plate our soup. You can always top this soup with cheese as well. All right, let me grab a spoon, that would be much better. So we need to get a couple of bay leaves out of here. Where are they? Oh, there it is, there's another one. And when I'm serving, I'll make sure that I get those other two, all right? So let's just give this another minute or two. I'm gonna grab a bowl for the soup and we'll be all done.
Sounds good.
Kathleen, I think our soup is done. Should we take a look?
Certainly.
Okay, let's put some in a nice deep bowl. This is a nice hearty soup. Minestrone actually means big soup in Italian.
Okay.
So we need a big bowl for the big soup. Let me just wipe off this dish. Okay, and if you'd add some cheese to that, it'd be ready to serve. So a good way to practice your knife skills, minestrone soup, mozzarella and tomato salad, and you have a great meal after you've practiced your knife skills. Kathleen, thank you so much for coming to visit me on Stress-Free Cooking. You were a great help.
Thank you, my pleasure.
I'm Barbara Seelig-Brown. Thank you for watching Stress-Free Cooking. I hope you'll join me again.
Stress-Free Cooking is brought to you by... From the sunny Mediterranean comes one of the world's finest olive oils for all your cooking needs. Pompeian extra virgin olive oil, classic Mediterranean, and extra light tasting. Pompeian makes everything better. From our table to yours, O-Pee-Chee Wines, fine wines and spirits from around the world since 1913. Cutco, the world's finest cutlery. Melissa's, the freshest ideas in produce. And Sub-Zero Wolf Appliances. Enjoy Barbara Selig Brown's cookbook as she shows you how to make stress-free dishes in the comfort of your own home. Offer made by Stress-Free Cooking for $19.95.